the concepts that we taught in our parenting class is what we call the boundary tree. You've heard of the boundary tree. And so I jotted it down just real quick on a piece of paper, but I don't even know if it can be seen. Can that be seen? But the idea here is that as parents, we have these children that are within our what I call the boundary tree, and out here on the outside of this tree that are boundaries. These are no choices. So, for example, a child should not be able to choose to get their appendix out when they're 3 years old, or in our case, we lived on a busy street where semis came up and down the street, and we would say, okay, it's a no choice to go play in the front yard because it's not safe, you know. So, and the children would go, I want to go play in the front yard, I want to go play in the front yard, but it wasn't safe there. So there are things in our families, in every family, that they have to decide, where's the boundary, what are the no choices? You know, in our family growing up, you know, no put downs was a big thing. You don't get to put somebody else down. That was a no choice. Or hitting or
so how do people decide what no choice is?
Yeah, every family has to decide what that is for their family.
Okay.
But within this tree, then there are choices. And Renee and I would always say, if it doesn't maim or kill them, make sure they experience those choices, because we grow so much from mistakes and serious mistakes we make. So within this tree, so if we were to say, okay, here's a tree that I want to say that 0 to 3 years old, that's a tiny little tree that child has the ability to make choices, and maybe the 3 to 6 year old child has a tree that's this big, and maybe the 6 to 9 year old child has a tree that's this big, and the tree keeps growing and growing and growing as the child matures and progresses. And so we always joke in our family that we have some children that are 20 years old, but they have a 10-year-old tree. And so because of some of the choices they made, their tree gets smaller, so their choices become smaller. And we have maybe a 15-year-old that can have a 25-year-old tree because he or she has made some really healthy choices, so their tree gets bigger and bigger.